Okay, students, in this class we are going to discuss some of the important personalities from Karnataka who want to protect their land from the British people. So in the previous classes, in the lesson opposition to British rule in Karnataka, so far we discussed about the Mysore Wars, Anglo-Mysore Wars, and also we discussed about how the Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan fought against the British. So after the end of 4 Anglo-Mysore Wars, there are some rebellions taken place from Karnataka. So in this class, who are the important personalities taken their rebellions against the British after the death of Tipu Sultan? So after 4th Anglo-Mysore War, after 4th Anglo-Mysore War, when 4th Anglo-Mysore War is ended in the year 1799. In the year 1799, 4th Anglo-Mysore War is ended, right? After the end of 4th Anglo-Mysore War, simply we can say that after the death of Tipu Sultan, there are many revolutions against the British. See, all these rebellions are armed rebellions. Armed rebellions. Armed rebellions means what? They are attacking the British by using some weapons. So these are all armed rebellions taken place in the early part of 19th century. All these armed rebellions are taken place during early part of 19th century. Generally 19th century means what shall we consider? 19th century means we have to consider 1800 to 1899. In that early part of 19th century means we have to consider that 1800 to 1850 there are many rebellions. All kind of rebellions are what kind of rebellions here? Armed rebellions. Among all the rebellions, armed rebellions, the contribution made by Dondiya Wagh is very prominent. So after the death of Tipu Sultan, the first armed rebellion we are going to discuss, that is all about Dondiya Wagh. Dondiya Wagh, 1800. Dondiya Wagh belongs to the Maratha family of Channagiri. He belongs to Maratha family. Dondiya Wagh belongs to Maratha family of Channagiri. So he is called with the name of Wagh. Wagh means what here? Brave. Due to his bravery, Dondiya was called with the name of Wagh. So that Dondiya Wagh. So if you are going to the profile of Dondiya Wagh, just now I told to you he belongs to the Maratha family of Channagiri, and he was called with the name of Wagh due to his bravery. So that he is called with the name of Dondiya Wagh. So the rebellion made by the Dondiya Wagh, that was started in the year 1800. So initially Dondiya Wagh joined in Hyder Ali army. Initially he was joined in Hyder Ali army. In what position he joined? He joined as a cavalry soldier. Cavalry means what? Generally the people who are expert to do battle by doing horse riding, that is known as a cavalry. So Dondiya Wagh joined under Hyder Ali army as a cavalry soldier, and after that he became a military general in the Hyder Ali army. Initially he was joined as a cavalry soldier, and after that Dondiya Wagh in the Hyder Ali army becomes a military general. When the Tipu Sultan is ruling the Mysuru province. He organized his private army and fought with his enemies along with Tipu Sultan. Listen, when Hyder Ali ruling was there, he joined in his army, and after that he maintained a private army and fight along with Tipu Sultan against the enemies. And after that, what happens? Due to some differences in between Tipu Sultan and Dondiya Wagh, there are some differences arised in between Dondiya Wagh and Tipu Sultan. So that what happened? Tipu Sultan imprisoned Dondiya Wagh. I hope you are very clear, right? Tipu Sultan imprisoned Dondiya Wagh, and after that Dondiya Wagh is released from the prison by the Britishers after the death of Tipu Sultan. So Dondiya Wagh is imprisoned by the Tipu Sultan. So Britishers are released the Dondiya Wagh from the prison after 4th Anglo-Mysore War. Simply we can say that after the death of Tipu Sultan, Dondiya Wagh is released from the prison by the Britishers. After that, once he came out from the prison, he organized his own army, who are unhappy soldiers in the Tipu Sultan army, and more importantly, by taking some support from the local kings, he organized his own army. With those army, he tried to capture some of the places in the Mysuru province, as well as some places related to the other kings. So whenever Dondiya Wagh army becomes a more strong enough, at that time Lord Wellesley, he want to stop the prominence of Dondiya Wagh. See, initially we discussed, right, he was imprisoned, but after that Britishers are released the Dondiya Wagh after the death of Tipu Sultan. From there onwards, he is organizing his own army, and he tried to capture some of the places which are neighboring local kings and all. So, but here Lord Wellesley, he want to stop his prominence, Dondiya Wagh prominence. So here Dondiya Wagh made an organized attack on Shivamogga. He made one organized attack on Shivamogga. And after that, after he made attack on Shivamogga, Dondiya Wagh lost his base. And after that, he tried to capture some of the places like Shikaripura. So here what happened, whenever Dondiya Wagh lost his base, he ran away to the place Gutti. After he lost his base, he ran away to the place called Gutti. It is under the control of Gutti, is a place under the control of Nizams. So when he ran away to the place Gutti, that is under the control of Nizams. Nizams of Hyderabad people, they are trying to attack Dondiya Wagh. Again from Gutti to Dondiya Wagh, he escaped to some provinces belongs to the Maratha. Again Gutti to, he will be went to the Maratha regions. So there what happened, the Maratha army attacked Dondiya Wagh army, and they captured all the important arms and ammunitions, along with some of the military things. They captured some of the military things. So after Dondiya Wagh lost his base, he ran away to which place? Gutti, that is under the control of Nizams. In that place what happened? Nizams are attacked Dondiya Wagh. From Gutti to, again he ran away to the Maratha region. See, here one point you remember, at that point of time itself, Marathas, Nizams of Hyderabad, Britishers, they have some alliance, they have some friendship pact. So here what happened, when the Dondia Wag reached to the Maratha regions, even Maratha kings also attacked them, attacked their army. Finally, whatever the things are there, we can say that horse and all, everything is captured by the Maratha people. And after that, what happened, many of the unhappy Palegars, many of the unhappy Palegars. Palegar means who at that time? Palepattu will be there. Some small kingdoms will be there. So whoever the king ruling the small kingdoms, those are known as the Palegas. So many of the unhappy Palegars encouraged Dondiawag to fight against British. Along with that, Mahe, that is under the control of French. Even the French peoples also supported the Dondiawag to fight against the British. I hope you are clear, right? Many of the unhappy Palegars and French people supported the Dondiawag to fight against the British people. But here what happened, with a huge army, Dondiawag is captured some of the places and he will be moving along with the huge army. That army of Dondiawag is followed by the British army. Finally what happened? How the Dondiawag rebellion is ended. End of Dondiawag, we can say that. How it will be ended? So I am already told you, right? Lord Wellesley is always trying to stop the prominence of Dondiawag. So here what happened, many of the unhappy Palegars and the French people, everyone will be supported to the Dondiawag. With that support, he captured some of the places. And wherever the Dondiawag army will go, that army is followed by the British army. Finally what happened? In the two regions of Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. Rivers, right? So in the land between these two rivers, we can say that Doab region, Tungabhadra river and Malaprabha river region. See, Dondiawag army is we can say that will be surrounded by the British army. In each and every direction of Dondiawag, British army, they are encircled them, means around the Dondiawag army completely British peoples they will be captured, they will be in around. So in all directions the British army, they are going to attack on Dondiawag. So finally what happened, in the place like Raichuru and some other places, Dondiawag army severely defeated by the Lord Wellesley and their army. So finally Britishers are able to stop the influence of Dondiawag. So whenever Dondiawag is defeated by the British, the followers of Dondiawag, they are scattered. Scattered means what? They are spread into different places. In this manner, the armed rebellion of Dondiawag come to an end. So this is one of the important armed rebellion in the 1800 taken place from Karnataka against to the British people. In this manner, the rebellion of Dondiawag is ended. Alright, students, now we are going to discuss one more important rebellion that is very prominent in the land of Karnataka. And we can say that this rebellion is a proud of all Kannadigas. That is nothing but rebellion of Kittur. Rebellion of Kittur. So especially the girls should be feel very proud by listening this important rebellion takes place in Kitturu in the year 1824. So if you are here the name Kitturu, a brave queen we are remembering, brave Queen Chennamma. Brave Queen. Brave Queen Chennamma. So the rebellion made by brave Queen Chennamma in Kittur, that is very important in the year 1824. First of all, the Britishers brought many changes in their administration after they defeated Marathas, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. Clear, right? So British brought many changes in their administration after they are defeated Maratha dynasty and Mysuru province, especially Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. So one of the important change, that is nothing but implementation of doctrine of lapse. Implementation of doctrine of lapse. So already we know about this theory, right? Who introduced it? Lord Dalhousie. Lord Dalhousie. So as per doctrine of lapse, if a king is died without any heir, then that kingdom is taken by the Britishers. Just remember like that. So British brought many changes in the administration after they defeated Marathas, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. One of the major change is nothing but implementation of doctrine of lapse policy by the Lord Dalhousie. Okay, first of all, before entered into this one and all, what is the reason Rani Chennamma, Kittur Rani Chennamma fought against British? First of all, listen carefully. What is the place here? Kitturu, right? Kitturu is a place lies in between Dharwad and Belgaum. Kitturu is a place located in between the region like Dharwad as well as Belgaum. Dharwad and Belgaum. Here what happened, you know? Initially, Kitturu was ruled by Malla Sarja. Kitturu was ruled by Malla Sarja. See, Malla Sarja queen Chennamma. Malla Sarja queen Chennamma. So Kitturu is a place ruled by whom? Malla Sarja. Malla Sarja queen is Chennamma. So here what happened, you know? After the death of Malla Sarja, Shivalinga Rudra Sarja. Shivalinga Rudra Sarja taken a responsibility as a king. Listen, Malla Sarja is a person who ruling Kitturu. Kitturu is lies in between Dharwad and Belgaum. Malla Sarja queen is Chennamma. So after Malla Sarja death, Shivalinga Rudra Sarja taken as a power, as a responsibility. But due to some health issues, Rani Chennamma taken responsibility of administration of Kittur. So why? What is the reason? Due to ill health, Rani Chennamma taken administration of Kittur. So here, until the Kitturu was ruled by Shivalinga Rudra Sarja, Britishers they are not attacked on Kitturu. Why? Because means Shivalinga Rudra Sarja helped to British. Very very important point. Shivalinga Rudra Sarja helped to British while Maratha attack. So when the Britishers are making attack on Maratha kingdom, at that time Shivalinga Rudra Sarja helped to the British. Due to that reason, when Shivalinga Rudra Sarja was alive, the Britishers are not focused to capture Kittur. So this agreement, this deal is done when the British officer Thomas Munro when there is an agreement in between Shivalinga Rudra Sarja and the British, at that time the British officer will be Thomas Munro. I hope you are very clear, right? Malla Sarja initially he was ruling Kitturu. Malla Sarja queen is Chennamma. Malla Sarja death after Shivalinga Rudra Sarja taken as a throne. So when Shivalinga Rudra Sarja was alive, Britishers are not attacked Kitturu. Why? Because means Shivalinga Rudra Sarja helped to the British while they are attacking on Marathas. That agreement will be done at the time of Thomas Munro. After that, what happened? You know, due to some health conditions, Shivalinga Rudra Sarja died. At that time, Rani Chennamma adopted a boy, Shivalingappa, a boy named Shivalingappa. After Shivalingappa died, Chennamma adopted a boy, Shivalingappa. Even Shivalingappa was there, but administration is maintained by the Chennamma only. So now, this is against to what? Doctrine of lapse. Actually, here there is no heir. After the death of Shivalingappa, no one is there, male person, to capture the throne. So, as per doctrine of lapse, this place is free to capture by the Britishers. The Britishers, they can capture this one, right? At that time, the collector of Dharwad, Thackeray. At that time, the collector of Dharwad, Thackeray, he wrote one letter to the British governor in Bombay. He wrote what? Dharwad collector Thackeray, he wrote one letter to the governor of which region? Bombay. So when the Britishers came to know there is no heir in the Kittur region to rule, at that time Britishers are focused to capture Kittur region. But here Chennamma did not accept the policy of British to capture Kittur region under doctrine of lapse. At that time, she felt that war is inevitable. Yes, compulsory. In order to protect my motherland, I should bravely fight against the British. So she decided like that. In that war, what happened? A collector of Dharwad is shot dead. He will be shot dead. He will be died. And after that, the army or the British army under the leadership of Colonel Deke. The British army under the leadership of Colonel Deke, they are attacked on Kitturu. At that time, Rani Chennamma, even though she was a woman, but she bravely fight against to the British. So in that war, what happened? British peoples are able to defeat the Chennamma army, and after that, Britishers are imprisoned Rani Chennamma in Bailamangala jail. So that is the reason why if you visit Kitturu region at present, there are lot of folk songs and ballads that will be describes the story and importance of Rani Chennamma and how she fought bravely against to the British people. So not only Chennamma, whoever the people, followers of Chennamma, everyone will be imprisoned in Bailamangala jail. In that manner, a brave Queen Chennamma fought against to the British. This is also one of the armed rebellion that is taken place in the year 1824. So who wrote? See, actually the question may ask, why the Britishers are not attacked Kitturu during Shivalinga Rudra Sajja? You have to write why, because means Shivalinga Rudra Sajja helped to the British while Maratha attack. When that under whose region that agreement was signed? Thomas Munro. So who was the person wrote a letter to the governor of Bombay to capture Kitturu? Thackeray. And after that, under the leadership of Colonel Deke, the army of British, they are attacked on the army of Kitturu. Finally, Rani Chennamma imprisoned at Bailamangala. So these are the armed rebellions they started in the early part of 19th century. And some of the followers I told to you, right? One of the important loyal follower of Queen Rani Chennamma is none other than Sangoli Rayanna. After Rani Chennamma imprisoned in the jail, the rebellion will be continued. One more important rebellion continued by the Sangoli Rayanna is a loyal follower of Rani Chennamma. Children, that we will discuss in the coming class. So in this class, in today's session, we discussed some important rebellions from Karnataka after the death of Tipu Sultan, which are nothing but the rebellion made by Dondiyawag and the rebellion made by the Rani Chennamma. These two are very important rebellion for the examination point of view. Any one of these questions they will ask as a 3-mark question for your board examination. So that if you have any proper material or textbook and all, just go through the content of armed rebellions of Dondiyawag and Kitturu Rani Chennamma. So we will meet again in the next class to discuss some more rebellions made in Karnataka against the British. Thank you. Have a nice day.